This is exercise 6.5, placing ADA curb ramps. In this exercise, we will place 5 different ADA curb ramps within the model, 4 at an intersection and 1 at a median. Let's go ahead and open up RDWYII ADA corridor DGN file within the DGN Chapter 6 subfolder. Once the file loads, make sure that the multimodal view is active in the lower left corner. Let's also make sure that the correct files have been referenced in the 2D view. We need the files RDWYII ADA alignments and RDWYII ADA terrain files, both referenced. Notice that there is a mainline corridor with a 4-way intersection. Zoom into the southern approach with the side road corridor. Go ahead and select the ramp CL control feature definition, which is under Linear, Roadway, Model Control 2D Plan, Sidewalk. And let's set that feature definition to active. Let's turn on AccuSnap and open the Line Between Points tool. Locate the southwest corner of the intersection, snap to the midpoint of the flow line, which is the CR flow line L. Then use the perpendicular snap to draw a line to the back of the sidewalk, which is SW back top L. Then extend the line further out in both directions with the move tools so that it bisects all lines in that corner of the intersection and extends past them. This center line and all curb ramp center lines do not need a profile attached to them, or will ignore the automatically created profiles. The civil cell will automatically profile the curb ramps. Now open the Place Civil Cell tool and select the T.MM CR5 bidirectional lowered corner civil cell under Curb Ramps T.DGN lib and select OK. Once you're ready to place the civil cell, select the following lines. The first line is the CR flow line. Second line is the CR back top. Third line is the SW back top. And the fourth line is the ramp center line we just drew. The civil cell preview should be close to what's expected, but notice that the detectable warning surface controlling lines are placed on the outside of the CR flow line. This is because the cell was not built in this direction, and therefore without changing the reference lines, the cell would be broken when placed. Many of the civil cells will still work when all reference lines are reversed. To fix the civil cell, we need to reverse all the reference line directions. Click on all 4 of the orange lines to change their direction, and then the civil cell preview should be correct. Go ahead and right-click to the next prompt, which asks for the corridor that is the civil cell will clip. Select the intersection civil cell that this civil cell is placing on. Right-click to advance, and then left-click to accept the civil cell placement. Note that for this curb ramp civil cell, only the intersection civil cell is being clipped. The curb ramp cannot extend onto the mainline corridor since none of the reference lines are from the corridor. Make sure to check that the ramp slopes tie back into the intersection civil cell. In this exercise, the ramp towards the main line does not successfully tie back. The user will have to adjust the radius of the curb return or extend the civil cell template drop along the main line. But we will leave the civil cell as is for now. Currently, the ramp slope of the civil cell are set to 8.33%, which is the allowable maximum. To change the ramp slope, open the profile model by selecting the pink dashed line, which is the ramp slope control. There is also a ramp slope control L and a ramp slope control R along the back of the ramp to the left and right sides of the curb ramp civil cell. To access the ramp control lines more easily, turn off all levels other than design, tran, sidewalk level. So let's open the ramp slope control R profile to see how the profiles are created. So here we have the arced line. This is the base sidewalk profile from the intersection civil cell. The pink dot is the intersection of the lowered ramp right line. The line that is extending up is a slope control line where the slope of the ramp is controlled. There is a third line that uses the intersection of the arced sidewalks line and the controlling line to determine where the ramp stops. Many ramp profiles are set up like this, but some ramps have a more complex setup to ensure the civil cell does not break. Let's go ahead and change the slope of this line to be 6%. This will also update the slope of the right ramp. And then turn all levels back on. So for the next civil cell where we're going to place, locate the northwest corner of the intersection. This curb ramp will not require a ramp center line. Open the Place Civil Cell tool once again and select the T.MM.CR6 perpendicular sidewalk left civil cell under the curb ramp T.DGN lip. And click OK. And note that not all curb ramp civil cells need a designated center line. In this scenario, the civil cell can successfully build the curb ramps by simply knowing where the main line, the curb return flow line, and all the curb are located. Then go ahead and select the reference line in order. So first one is going to be the intersection curb return, which is CR flow line. The second line is the intersection curb return, CR back top. The third line is the main line CR flow line. And the last line is the main line CR back top. The preview should be correct. Right-click to advance, then select both the intersection and mainline corridors to clip. Right-click to advance, and then left-click to accept the civil cell. Note that because these curb ramps have left or right, the preview should be correct. In this exercise, the left will work for the top left, which is northwest, and the bottom right, southeast, and the right will work for the top right, northeast, and the bottom left, southwest. Zoom in and notice that the sidewalks have been tapered and adjusted to meet the back of the civil cell ramps. This is because the civil cell is built with the maximum slope 8.33%, and the sidewalk needs to be widened to match the civil cell max slope. For all civil cells that have two ramps that wrap around the radius, the civil cell will not work well if the ramps are two different slopes. So continuing clockwise, now locate the northeast corner of the intersection. Open the Place Civil Cell tool once again and select the T.MM.CR7 blended right civil cell under the curb ramp T.DGN lip and click OK. So when prompted, select the first line, which is the intersection CR flow line. The second line is going to be the intersection CR back top. Third line is going to be the mainline CR flow line. And the last line is going to be the mainline CR back top. The preview should be correct. Right-click to advance and then select both the intersection and mainline corridors to clip. Right-click to advance and then left-click to accept the civil cell. Zoom in and notice once again that the sidewalks have been tapered and adjusted to meet the back of the civil cell ramps. This is because the civil cell is built with a max slope of 8.33% and the sidewalk needs to be widened to match the civil cell. So continuing clockwise, now locate the southeast corner of the intersection. We will now place a MMCR7 parallel civil cell, which is the most complicated curb ramp civil cell in this library. It requires 8 different reference line selection. Note that this civil cell can only be used when the intersection curb return radius is relatively small. If the radius is too large, the civil cell will break and not display correctly. Open up the Place Civil Cell tool once again and select the T.MMCR7 parallel left civil cell under the curb ramp T.DGNLib folder and select OK. And note that this civil cell, along with a few others, do not show a preview within the Pick Civil Cell window. This is a bug in the software and Bentley has logged a defect. So now we have 8 lines to select. So the first line is going to be the intersection CR flow line. Second line is the intersection CR back top. Third line is going to be the intersection SW front top. Fourth line is going to be the intersection SW back top. And then starting with the fifth line is going to be off of the main line. The fifth line is going to be the main line CR flow line. The sixth line is going to be the main line CR back top. The seventh is going to be the main line SW front top. And then the last and eighth line is going to be the main line SW back top. Then check the preview and it should be correct. Right-click to advance and then select both the intersection and mainline corridors to clip. Then right-click to advance and left-click to accept the civil cell. We'll now change the ramp slope. First, turn off all levels other than design, tran, sidewalk level. And open the profile model of the pink dashed line SR ramp L control. So go ahead and change the slope of the profile from 8.33% to 3.5%. And notice that the ramp has extended, but the R side of the ramp is still sloped at 8.33%. This is because of the complexity of the civil cell, where both control element slopes will need to be manually adjusted. The slope needs to be the same, but the civil cell is one of the exceptions where the mainline and side road ramp slopes can be different. So repeat the same change in the profile slope for the SR ramp R control line and notice the update. Turn all levels back on to see the updated 2D geometry after the adjustments to the civil cell has been made. So next, locate the east median opening between the two CR7 curb ramps placed earlier in this exercise. With the ramp CR control feature definition still active, draw a geometry line 6 feet off the block of the median opening nose, perpendicular to the EOP lines. So now let's go ahead and open up the Place Civil Cell tool once again. And select the T.MMCR for Civil Cell under the Curb Ramp T.DGNlib and select OK. Follow the prompts, and the first line we're going to select is the top CR flow line. Second line is the top CR back top. Third line is the bottom CR flow line. The fourth line will be the bottom CR back top. And the fifth will be that orange ramp center line we just drew. The preview should be correct. Right-click to advance, then select the mainline corridor to clip. Right-click to advance, and then left-click to accept the civil cell. Notice that there is a small clipping issue with the main line. There is a vertical gray rectangle on the top side of the curb ramp. To fix this issue, open the Place Shape tool under Open Rows Modeling, Drawing, Placement, and place a small shape around where the clipping issue is in the 2D view. The shape should cover the median flow line, which is the blue line across where the civil cell is. Then open the Add Clipping Reference tool, select the mainline corridor, and then select the shape that was just drawn. If the clipping does not go away, adjust the shape until the clip works. And then this completes the placement of the curb ramp civil cells. And note that there are additional civil cell exercises in Appendix A.1, which involve creating a cul-de-sac. And this concludes exercise 6.5, placing ADA curb ramps.